Hello you guys, welcome to TK808 Productions. Now today guys, I have a really interesting video for you guys and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So, about a couple weeks ago, I had a chance to travel all the way to Bakersfield, California to film the Famoso Dragstrip, and there I got a chance to meet some of the local racers from Hawaii, and one of them was Blake Rapozo. This actually was his first time he's ever raced in this event, and with a car that they just recently bought about a year ago, they did some tuning to the motor, and they did paint job on it, really beautiful paint job. You'll see some pictures of it. But yeah, you guys, I had a chance to do a interview with him. Now, I was not able to do the interview there with him there at the track, but I was able to do an interview with him over FaceTime. So, it's definitely something new, not really something I've done before, but kind of let you guys know that there was a few glitches in it because remember with FaceTime, internet connection, and service definitely is sometimes not always the best. So, gonna thought we could give this a try, guys. So, yeah, I asked him a few questions about what was it like for his first time there at the track. Also, what was the journey that he had to take to get up to Formoso, and just ask him, what's something that drives him to continue drag racing. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Don't forget to subscribe to TK808 Productions, so that way you guys can be able to keep yourself up to date of all the latest drag racing action here in Hawaii. And yeah, let's get on to the video, and here we go. So, hello you guys, welcome to TK808 Productions. It's I got right here, Mr. Blake Rapozo here, and if you guys probably have seen from some of my earlier videos I'll be posting soon, he was actually at the Wally Parks Nostalgia Drags at the Famoso Dragstrip this 2 weeks ago, I believe, yes? And
last weekend.
Oh, last weekend, yes.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to kind of ask him a little bit more about who he is. So, Blake, could you introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
Yeah, my name is Blake Rapozo. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Kaneohe, Hawaii. And just a new racer out there, just having fun, starting to live the dream.
Awesome, man. So, Blake, have you been around race cars when you were a young kid? Like, you've been around drag racing? Or was this your first time at the racetrack?
No, so my dad and my uncle been going to Famoso twice a year for, the last maybe close to 20 years, maybe more. I could be wrong.
Ooh, wow.
Myself, I've been going for the last 5 years for sure. I went a couple times in high school. I went a couple times out of high school, and then I had a break. And yeah, but I was around as a young kid going to watch the races at Hawaii Raceway Park and all that stuff. And when it went away, I was sad too.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of devastated when that happened. And, don't want to get into all speculation about what really happened and everything, but from those days of going to the Hawaii Raceway Park, it kind of helped rooted you to where you're like, you know what? I think I might want to give this a try, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of stuff kind of happened in order for us to get going on racing and all that stuff. It was an experience leading up to it. So
yeah. So building up to where you finally got interested into drag racing and everything, and when did you finally start to talk to probably to Kevin and to the rest of the team saying, hey, I want to take a crack shot at drag racing? How did that whole process start?
Yeah, so it's a funny story. I'll try not to make it too long.
No worries.
We've built hot rods, me, my dad, and my uncle. We've built hot rods for years now. When I was a kid, we would build them. And I was building my Fiat Topolino.
Oh, okay.
I would say 2021 to 2000, actually maybe 2020 to 2021. And my kids got into, playing sports, playing football. So the three boys, they play football. And I got, I ran out of time building my hot rod. So what happened was I went to my uncle and my dad's house one day, and I just was like, hey, I think I'm going to sell the hot rod, and I'm going to scrap it as a project, sell it, get rid of it. And what do you think if we buy, a decent race car that'll we can have fun with twice a year at Famoso? And yeah, they were kind of like, oh yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I kind of mentioned it like I'll sell the hot rod and I'll go get a race car, something small. The next day, my Uncle Bob calls me up and he's like, so I was looking at this car and that car and this car, and I was like, oh, so you're on board then? You want to do it too? And man, him and I, we're the ones who jump in head first to things, and then we got to drag my dad into it. So me and my uncle were talking about it and whatnot, and we're just looking at, like, honestly, we're looking at like some 960 cars, and this is within a day, right? We're just dreaming now. And we're looking at some 960 cars, and some altereds. And so I go, well, now we just got to get my dad on board. So it was about a 30-minute phone call with my dad where I was just talking about it. He was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not being part of this. No, I'm not doing it. I like watching the races. After about 30 minutes, my dad says, so what kind of car are we getting? And I was like, that's it. You're on board. There you go. Done. And then, so kind of fast forwarding to the next part was, we reached out to Tom Brown and asked him, if he knows of any cars out there, kind of told him what we're looking for and all that stuff. Kind of just talked to a bunch of like, the old Hoy racers and stuff like that, guys that race up there too.
Yeah. Like Mike Needham, and then also Tom Brown.
Yeah, Tom Brown, them, and the General Laos and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
And so we were just talking, to everybody, kind of getting a feel about where we should start and all that stuff. And it's expensive to start with, a car. It's expensive to start somewhere and then want to work your way up. And we kind of got really lucky. So Greg Suyanaga, he had mentioned to Tom Brown that one of his buddies was selling a car. And this is a matter of like 2 months from us maybe saying that we were going to go and buy a race car. So I sold my hot rod as a project, and maybe 2 to 3 months later, we already had a hit on a car. And the part about it was the car was just too fast for us to start at. We ran it at 760s, and then we ended up running a 724 by mistake. And it just, we knew from the beginning it was too fast to start. We didn't want to start there, but it was too good of a deal to pass up. So that's kind of what ended us up in the moment of the car that we got. So
wow, yeah. But I gotta say, man, 2 months, and then somehow things just kind of all came out together.
Yeah, it just everything just aligned, man. Like, we knew we wanted to race and have fun with it and all that stuff, and everything just aligned, man. We honestly, we can't be more grateful for the support that we've had, like, through this journey, and it was a good year and a couple months after we bought the car that was our first race. So
all right, man. And and I kind of understand a little bit about when you're saying that you're trying to build a car, but then you have kids you got to worry about too, because for my family, as my dad passed and stuff, my mom had to take care of not only me but my younger brother, younger sister. So she had 3 kids she had to raise. And a lot of people would ask me, like, hey, how come you didn't race when you guys was in high school or after high school? And I'm like, when you got a parent that's got to take care of kids, I mean, kids come first, no matter what you think about it. So, I mean, it kind of sucked. The car kind of sat in the garage for almost like 2 decades before we finally resurrected it. But, I mean, it's part of life, man. And, but from what you were telling me about, you were definitely itching to get, like, oh, I'm itching to get right there, get to racing and everything. But, you had to take care of your kids, and I can understand, man. My mom understands that too.
The time.
Timing.
The time and energy that goes into their sports, man. So it just took away everything from building the hot rod, and it was like, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to drive it. Let's go race.
And my mom told us too that I mean, with her, I mean, she was really just on a teacher's salary, and you can't do sports, clubs, and also do drag racing. You have to kind of pick one or the other. So we decided to just go with sports. So. But at least it was great that as time went on, you kind of were able to, like, what, let's, instead of building a car, let's just have a car that's already built that we can just have fun with. And I can understand, man, with drag racing, money is really expensive. It's an expensive sport. I mean,
oh, we're finding out. We're definitely finding out how expensive it is.
yeah. And then, so you finally got the car and everything. Did you guys have to do any like tweaks or any works on it before you actually took it to the track or made your
Yeah,
first hit?
we actually flew up to California. Me and my uncle flew up to California. I think August of 2022. And we brought the car back. So bought a trailer up there, shipped the car back. And when we got it here, we just started, kind of just learning about it. We've got a lot of support, and we had a lot of support and a lot of people who kind of taught us the ropes, as far as what we know now. And we repainted the car. It has a killer flake paint job on it. It's a lot of flakes, and so we just pretty much did all of that stuff and just did our couple little things of our own to it. But what we were told was the car performs, and definitely we found out that it can. So we brought the car back to Hawaii. Just did everything that we wanted to do to it, and then we shipped it right back out. We shipped it up in September, early September, maybe late August.
Okay.
And, it was waiting up there for us when we got up there.
Yeah. Well, I definitely admit the paint job was very beautiful, and I had pictures and videos of it, and I gotta admit, so that was not the original color of the car, was it?
No. Yeah, it was blue before. It was blue.
Blue. Well, I like the paint job you guys got in it now. It looks way. I mean, when you just see it shine in the sun, it just kind of just sparkles off of it, and that's
we're Portuguese, so we went with silver.
No problem about it, man. It was a beautiful car, very beautiful. So like before you went to Famoso, did you guys do like any test hits at other tracks to kind of get yourself a little comfortable in the car, or was it just like, well, put on the helmet, put on the suit, here we go?
Yeah, nothing. We really wanted to, but just timing kind of sucked. But I will tell you that the best thing that we did was me going to get my license at Frank Holly's Drag Racing School.
Oh, okay.
If I didn't go to Frank Holly's Drag Racing School, I don't think that we would have been able to make full passes that Famoso. And that was honestly one of the best things that we did, throughout this whole journey. He teaches you so much in that moment, in that 2-day class. He fills your mind with a lot, teaches you a lot. The knowledge that he has, that he teaches his students is amazing. So that's one part that we got out of the way. We wanted to go up a little earlier, like August, and do some test hits and all that stuff, but we didn't. Our timing didn't really work out for the three of us. Me and my dad and my uncle. But along the way, just in general, the amount of people that had given me advice for driving wise just paid off. I just took everything that everybody had told me and I tried to piece it together and take what I can from everybody, good, bad, whatever it be. And we got to do three test and tune runs on Thursday. So, we learned from the first one, we learned from the second one. We didn't make a full pass. The first and the second one, we didn't make a full pass. The first pass we had, something went wrong in the motor. We fixed that. The second pass, I was stupid the way that I was driving it, but that's a different story. But I felt the power right there, but in that moment I felt, you know what, I can do it. I feel like I can, hold it. And, but I didn't want to be stupid. This is something that me, my dad and my uncle, have put money into. And as me driving it, I don't want to be the guy to do something stupid and waste all of our money, and ruin the fun. Because honestly, the biggest part about this for us is not really the competition. It's the fun, us going up there and just doing something different and having fun. So that third test and tune run, we just did like an 821, I think. But I got off the throttle like a little before the end of the track, just so I can feel like what the parachute feels like, just in general. I just wanted to feel what it was like and all that stuff before I made a full pass. And, just like the burnouts. My burn, long burnouts at all. I really didn't feel tired too much because it would be nice to be kind of weekend where we don't break anything. And now it's up to car. Put the car in there and go skate. So the three kept in clean runs. So kind of like good, when we got to qualifying that, I felt good.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Blake. Just a little bit on that last pause. I kind of, the video kind of went out a little bit on your side. No worries, bro. So I can still see you. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, man, that just sounds awesome, man. And so, and I can understand, you're trying to be very careful when you were going down on your first passes because, especially when you got to ship the car, you have to get the car built, you have to buy the car. I can understand it's a lot of money built into the thing, and you don't want to be the one that says, okay, let it loose, and then something goes wrong, and then you're like, oh, what do we do?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, man, it definitely shows that you learned as you went. And I like what you said there, how you went to the Frank Hawley school, but then only that you have like a lot of people that you can talk to there at the track for advice, because they've been racing there for many years, so they actually have a lot of experience. So they have a lot of experience to where they know like, hey, when the car does this is what you do, or try to be careful when you launch, go straight, or like give you like other tips and advice. Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing, and if I could just kind of mention them, it would be amazing. Like the amount of hands that touched our car last weekend, and the amount of advice that I got from so many people, it was just amazing. Like we're blessed to have all the people that we had involved in our car. Like honestly, we had Kevin Rapozo who man, he is like a mastermind looking at our car. Helped us out so much. Tom Brown definitely, he helped us out a lot. Vince General Senior and Vince General Junior, man, they helped us out a lot too, and especially with like Junior helped me out with like some driving tips and all that stuff, and Lawton Ferrero Senior and Junior, they helped us out, even in the pits, with tuning and stuff, and Greg Suyanaga, and then man, we had so much help. James General and his dad, just driving tips, and at the end of the races they were helping us out a little bit too. And then one of our buddies who goes up all the time with us, Blake Medeiros, and Joe Santamer, man, we just had so many people who had just all the experience combined. The way that they helped us, it's amazing. Peter Fernando helped us out, and he was a guy who really encouraged us to race, so it was cool, man. Like it's amazing the support that we had.
Yeah, I mean, especially like you said, you live in Kaneohe and you have to travel all the way to Bakersfield, California. I mean, that's a huge trip, and then sometimes some people feel like oh, when you go there, are you all alone by yourself? It's like, no, you literally come with an army, and I think that's great about with racers from Hawaii, such all of us, that when we go to a track, somehow we find each other, we get connected, and they're there to support you, man, and that's wonderful that you can rely on other people to kind of back you up, where you're just scratching your head like, what do I do when the car goes this or does that? Then they can be like, oh, do this instead.
Yeah, man. I don't know if everybody knows, but it is an army of people from Hawaii up there that are racing. It is huge.
Yeah, and actually that's why I go to Famoso and I try to do interviews and people like this. That way Hawaii can understand that, there's actually people that do race in the mainland. They race there, and when you first got there on the track and everything, did you kind of feel a little bit jittery when you got suited up in the car, man? Or what was going through your mind in your head when you realized, okay, we got the car here, everybody's here, I'm getting suited up, let's go? Or what was going through your head?
Yeah, honestly, I telling the truth, and I mean it, I wasn't scared, man. I wasn't worried at all. It just was like in the moment, like, this is what I want to do, It's like I want to have fun out there and all that stuff. And I guess maybe eventually it'll be about the competition,
Right, right.
and maybe that's where I get a little bit more nervous about it and stuff like that. But I think just going up there and having fun, the tone, we just knew that we were just going up there to have fun,
Right,
and
right.
we knew that if we made some straight passes and we held it down all the way down the track, we knew that we were successful. We put the car away and it's working. We were successful, but honestly, I wasn't really jittery. I think my dad was more jittery than me and more nervous than, like, before my first run. I think he peed like 7 times, maybe.
He must be like, okay, ready.
Which he'll probably kill me for saying that.
No worries.
Yeah.
He was probably like, okay, we're ready. Wait, hold on, son. Let me go to the bathroom. Okay, ready. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
He'll probably kill me for saying that, but oh well.
Well, I mean, I can understand. He's seeing his son go down the track. He's probably wondering, like, okay, just go down straight. You just gotta go straight down the quarter mile. Just go straight.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Because I know for me, like, I've never raced in Famoso raced bigger cars. I've only been raced in the junior dragsters, and I remember when I first was getting in there, I can still remember my hands were just tingling, like just feeling the vibration of the car. And I mean, once I first saw the lights come down, I hit the green and I went. I don't know, everything just felt calm after that. Did you kind of feel like that calm sensation? Because I know I felt that when I went down the track.
I did feel like in the moment I was, it's a lot can go through your mind in 7 seconds is what I learned, and yeah, one of those feelings where, man, this is, it's nice and calm, because it felt good. It really did.
Awesome. And then I know that you say you were trying to test out the parachute. What was that feeling like when the car kind of pulled you back with the parachute?
Yeah, I wish I asked the question to people kind of what it felt like, but I didn't. When we ran, I think we ran a 774, and that's when I pulled the chutes on that run. That's when I actually felt it. I was like, whoa, like I actually felt like the, kind of like the pullback just a little bit. It wasn't anything crazy. Our car has 2 chutes. So on that run, both chutes came out, and that's, I felt it, and I was like, oh, okay. that's different.
Yeah. Well, no, I just asked the question because a lot of racers ask me to do parachute shots, but then I've always kind of been curious of, like, what does it feel like when you pull the parachute? Like, I know I had a parachute on my car, but I mean, going 7 seconds compared to going maybe 9 seconds in a junior dragster is way different in comparison. So it kind of felt like the whole entire car just kind of pulled you back a little bit.
A little bit. I wouldn't say like a crazy amount.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure if you're going a lot faster, it would probably feel like that, but not a lot. But you definitely feel that, like that, where you're you feel like you're going forward, but you're so strapped into the seatbelts too, So I guess you don't really feel it as much, but.
All right. Well, I mean, you also have 2 parachutes, so if you had maybe one, maybe that would be a little bit more bigger of a pull, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm glad you got to experience it and everything else. And, what after you made your first pass down the track, what was going through your mind? And then what did your family say to you when they brought you back to the pits and everything? Were they like, so how was it?
Yeah. Well, when I did my stupid run and I was, going towards the wall and I cracked it to kind of come back, and I just hit it like twice, which just going back and looking at it, I feel really stupid about it. But in that moment, when I got down to the end of the track and, my uncle and my dad, they came down with the truck and they're picking me up. We're getting ready to strap up we're getting ready to put the hook on to tow the car back. And, I had a big grin. My dad came down and he goes like, I knew you were going to be smiling after that one. But then, man, when we ran the 724, which is too fast for the index,
right?
Because we're supposed to be running a 760. But we ran the 724, and they picked me up from the end of the track. We were just driving back the whole time. I had a huge smile. My dad said my smile was ear to ear, and theirs was too. But the whole time I was just like, I don't even care what happens. I don't care if we get eliminated in the first round. We just went down the track and ran a 724, and that's faster than I've ever been. So we were just happy that we actually got, a nice, decent run in. We ran a 774, 776, and then the 724. So when we did that, I was just like, I don't even care. I don't care if we don't even qualify. It doesn't matter.
Oh, with a 7.2, you might be able to go maybe the 7.0 Pro, maybe go with Kevin Rapozo in that group.
Yeah, that's some big dogs. I want to stay away from them.
True. I mean, that's a tough competition.
The 760s has some big dogs too, like Tom and Mike, them too. But we're just up there to have fun. I don't expect to win much races. We'll see what happens as we get more experienced.
Well, that's cool that you said about your experience, but how you're spotting from year to year, because I know for my brother, when I don't get a lot of time to see his reaction, but I always have put like a GoPro on his roll cage, and I always get to see his reaction. And a lot of times I don't see his face because he's covered with this helmet, but when I see him clapping and he's just hollering and just so excited, and just seeing that expression, and just it's kind of similar to how you were when you finally made that 7.2 pass, and you were like, "Oh, I don't care about anything else. This was worth everything."
Yeah, exactly.
All right, awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you had a great experience and everything. And are you planning to do it again later on in the future, or what's the future plans
we're going to go up every time. Yeah, we're going to go up every time. We'll always go for the Hot Rod reunion in October's, and then we'll always go for the March meet, which is on Leap Day this year. That's when it kicks off next year. So we'll always go for those two, and then we'll see. Maybe after next year, we'll see if we can fit in a couple more races. Maybe one more. Just fly up for the weekend and get some more seat time and stuff. So the car stays up there.
All right. Yeah, because I know when I came to California Hot Rod Union last year was my first time coming there, and it was definitely almost like an eye-opening experience for me and my family. We're planning to come pretty much every October for the California Hot Rod Reunion. Just the March one is a little difficult for my family because we help out with the Merry Monarchs, so it's a little too close. And I know sometimes the General Al's and House are saying, Thomas, come down to the March meet. I'm like, it's a little too close to the Merry Monarch, and I would love to come, but man, at least I was glad to meet you guys and you get to experience your first time going down the track, man. And I mean, probably when you guys got to the pits and you rolled the car in, you were probably thinking all the sacrifice you had to do, of all the money you had to put in, especially the money, the time, the effort, the planning. Was it kind of all worth it for you, man, to experience that wonderful time at the racetrack?
Yeah, it was worth it. When me, my uncle, and my dad decided to do this, it was just, along the way, there's the times where you put your head down and go, what are we doing, But after it was all said and done, man, we had nothing but fun, and we're just grateful. We're grateful we got to do it, and we're grateful we got to do it with the amount of people that had helped us. It was so fun. Yeah. The experience was something like nothing else, getting to, race a car up there in such a big event too, So.
Yeah, especially at that racetrack, because remind me again, do you have to be invited to come to these or?
No. I think for the what it used to be the Hot Rod reunion, now it's the Wally Park Nostalgia Nationals.
Right.
I think for the Fuel Altereds you have to be invited, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I heard. I think anybody can race the March meet too. So yeah, no invitation for these.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because I was trying to ask people around, do you have to be invited? Some said yes, some said no, but at least you help me clarify that. So it's maybe for only maybe like you said, the FA Fuel guys and maybe funny cars.
Yeah.
And that I can understand because you want to make sure you have someone who at least has experience with the car going down the track and everything.
Yeah, they wouldn't have invited me up there if it was invitation.
Gotcha. Well, at least, man, you had a great time up there and everything else. And so was it just you, or did you bring your whole family with you up to that event?
No. Yeah. So this was it's always been, my dad and my uncle go up there, and then, I tagged along after so many years, and we have, some buddies that go up with us too and all that stuff. And but yeah, it was just me. I didn't bring my kids and my fiance and all that stuff. Eventually I will, but for the first couple races I got to be up there and focus,
Right,
and then I can start worrying about the kids' needs and all that stuff.
True.
While we're up, then later on, maybe not next year, but the year after, maybe I'll take the family up there, because I want them to be around it. My kids want to be around it.
Right, of course.
So, and I want my fiance to be up there, watch it too, so she can experience it. Let the kids experience it at least once. If they like it, then they can come back.
True, and I mean, that I can understand, because I mean, it's your first time racing up there. You want to kind of get into your own routine. That way, you can understand. Okay, have fun with the kids and the fiance. But when it gets time to bring the car up, hey, let's get into like race mode. And when you were getting suited up, was there any type of things that you would do to kind of get yourself in the zone? Because I ask some racers sometimes, they either hum a song or they kind of remember like an inspirational thought. But was there anything coming into your head to kind of calm you down, to get yourself in the zone to like, okay, I'm in the car, let's go?
Kind of. I mean, honestly, it just kind of like, nodded my head, kind of like, okay, all right, we're doing this,
Okay.
And, the best part was the last two people that, that they're helping me get in, and get strapped in the car is my dad and my uncle, and, they're the two guys that are on this journey. We're the three of us were on this journey together, and that was probably the best part. We have a picture. There's a picture of the two of them helping me get strapped in the car, and that one for me, it just speaks. It just speaks loudly. Like, yeah, this is our little journey. And those two guys are helping me get in, ready to go down the track, and I think that really calms me down too, is knowing that they're right there too.
Yeah.
So.
For my brother, he tells me the same thing when he gets suited up, everybody helps him get suited up and everything, but he only trusts me to pull the seatbelts down, because my family, they try to secure him in, but my brother likes it when I secure him inside, because when he is in the car, he wants to make sure I belt him up, I make sure he's strapped down, he's tight into the cockpit, but he's always so calm when he has all of his family there with him. That way he knows, okay, all my family's here. They're here to support me. I'm ready. Because there's a few times where when I wasn't there, my brother was racing. There was only one time my brother raced without me, and he said he didn't feel like very secure, because he was like, no, the belts don't feel the same just because I always secure him.
Yeah. I definitely can see how he would feel that way. Like, it's comforting, with them strapping me in the car and all that stuff, and getting the knuckles from them before you go, you put on that helmet and really lock in there. So I mean, you're going 180 miles. I mean, that's where we were going, 180 miles per hour, 170 to 180, and it's definitely eye-opening. Like I said, I wasn't really nervous about it, but it's for sure eye-opening, and it's comforting when they're there. So
true, and it's so much better when you have everybody that you had with you from the beginning, like your dad and your uncle, there with you from the beginning, there with you right there at the starting line, helping you get ready. So, I mean, man, talk about one heck of a journey you've been on, man. From selling your Fiat to talking to your dad and your uncle, be like, hey, let's try to get a car, and somewhere down the road, things came together, and man, talk about one awesome of a journey, though. And just looking, just seeing you right now with a smile on your face, man, you're like, yeah, that was a journey.
Yeah, it was. It paid off, so can't wait to do it again now.
Was there a lot of highs and lows, or was it kind of like, well, we'll just build all the way up to the Famosa?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely along the way we've had moments where we've kind of said, are we going to be all right? Are we going to be able to do this? It's not like we were jumping into a 960 car, or a 1060 car. We were jumping right into 760s,
right.
170 miles per hour and faster, So, but, like I told them, we'll get there, you know. And I think that's one thing that we kind of looked at when we kind of just had a positive outlook on it, and whatever happens, happens. And that kind of minimized the lows, you know. So I think that brought us a lot of highs, that knowing that our expectation was just to go out there and have fun, you know, eventually when we got up there. So, man, it took forever. It really felt like forever for us to, you know, finally have the car up there and racing it. So.
Right, because I mean, you have to buy it, ship it back to Oahu, do what you guys have to do, paint it, get it ready, send it back up there. And so, like, for the shipping and stuff, how long does it take to get up there from Oahu to California? Is it like a couple months?
It's like, no, it was like 10 days. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because some people here think that like, oh my gosh, like if I send a car to the mainland, it's gonna take like 5 or 6 months. And I'm like, I'm not really sure that is, but thanks for clarifying for that, man. Thank you.
It's like 7 to 10 days to go to the mainland. It's like 5 to 7 days to get here.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Blake, thank you so much for your time, man, and everything else. But before we go on everything, man, since you're a new racer and everything else, if you want to just say to the camera, because I got this whole thing, I'm recording this whole interview right now. What would you say to like a young racer that, because I'm going to be posting all your videos on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out and everything. But what if they were able to come up to you and they're like, you know, like what advice would you give them if they wanted to get interested into racing something like what you're into? What would be like some advice you would give them?
I would strongly encourage it, you know, keeping the sport alive, and especially the nostalgia version of it, you know. And I would definitely say, hey, you know, no matter what, if it's something that you want to do, no matter what it is in life, at some point, if you just keep working towards it or keep having it in your mind that you want to do it, you're going to do it, and just push yourself to get there and do it. So I think it kind of boils down to anything in life. If you want something, go out and go get it. And, you know, as for the drag racing aspect of it, man, I would encourage young kids to just jump at it, you know, and get started in it, you know, keep the sport alive, because it's fun.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm just very grateful and blessed that, you know, I have the opportunities to come and, you know, film racers and stuff, because I love drag racing just as much as any racer. I mean, yes, I've not raced like how you're racing. I mean, you are way beyond where I can reach right now with racing in the Famoso, but just to see, you know, people racing and show how much you love racing, and that it's just so, like, it's a part of you and it's a part of your family. It's kind of similar to how my family is, man. So it's been a blessing that you know, I get to meet people like you that can really share to everybody, you know, why we love drag racing so much.
Yeah, and I appreciate, you know, the pictures and the videos, you know, that you got, and, you know, man, it's good.
Yeah, and actually, Blake, I had to really give a big thanks to my mom, because last year when I came, it was like a first time for me. So I brought my cameras out trying to video in there, but my mom was the kind of one that was pushing to where, like, you know what, let's get a press pass. And because of her, I got the press pass, so I can go right there on the starting line. And man, I gotta admit, it was a great experience there, but I never thought I would cry so much from all the fumes.
Once those nitro guys get going, that's it. It's over.
I know, but I was just like, when I went to the car after the day, I had to put like drops in my eyes. I was like, I'm crying so much. But, you know, I definitely got to give a big shout out to my mom and my family and everything for helping me support doing this. But you probably have to give a lot of thanks to your family as well, though.
Yeah, my uncle and my dad, you know, just like helping me live this dream, you know. I mean, it's something that we all love, and it's great. And then, you know, my fiance, she doesn't hold me back. She lets me go and drive a race car that's going 180 miles per hour, you know, and, you know, lets me do my thing and whatnot. So yeah, I got support all around, you know, just, you know, in general, it's amazing, you know. You know, my mom got to watch me go down the track, you know, I mean, she's watching the videos of it, but I'm sure she's thinking in her head, like, oh my goodness, you know, that's my son going down the track. So, you know, I just got to thank my whole family, honestly, for just being there and, you know, supporting me, and, you know, everybody who came up there to support us, you know, that was along the journey with us too. So it's amazing.
All right. Well, Blake, sorry to take up so much of your time, man, but
Thank you.
no, but thank you. I really appreciate you having this interview with me, man, and thank you. I know you've been very busy with your schedule and like making sure you get time for the kids and everything else. But thank you so much, man, for letting me have a little bit moment of your time to kind of share your experience, man. And thank you so much.
Yeah.
So
No,
I would
thank
say
you very much.
I'd say give me at least a week to kind of get the video together because I'm gonna put this with a few other clips of you racing and photos of you as well.
Okay.
So give me some time.
Good.
Give me some time, and then I'll message you on Instagram and let you know when the video is ready.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, Blake, thank you so much for your time, man. You have a wonderful evening, bro.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go, you guys. That was the interview with Blake Rapozo. And, definitely a great experience to meet with him, man. It's always really awesome when you get to see these racers come and share what they experience, what they went through. Because, it tells a story. It tells a story about how a racer got from point A to all the way to point B, which is, at the racetrack racing with your family, with your friends, your crew. It's a journey. Every racer has a journey and a story to tell. And, that's why here at TK808 Productions, I'm trying to help, share these stories with people. That way everybody can have a chance to experience, what is it like as a racer, getting all the way from thinking about the idea of racing to actually being in the race car going down the drag strip. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this interview and everything. If you guys want to check out more, just check out my channel at TK808 Productions. That way you can be able to, listen to these stories and check out more drag racing videos from Maui, Kauai, the Big Island, and also at the Famoso Dragstrip. But yep, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this interview. Check you guys out on the next video. And aloha.